AITAH for cutting my friend out of my life and wanting to text her again. Advice needed. Over a year ago I, 19F, got to know a girl, 17F, let's name her Liv, and we became very close in a very short time. It was a very hard time in my life and I desperately needed to talk with somebody about my problems, and I thought she was just the right person at the right time. For about a month, Liv and I were very close. We hung out nearly every day and shared a lot of personal things with each other. One time I told her about the fact that I am bisexual and that I never told anybody about that, not because I was ashamed, but because I just didn't want to tell anyone. Liv reacted peacefully, and we moved on to other topics. I nearly forgot about telling her this when her then best friend, 18F, let's name her Maya, sent me messages in which she asked me if I wanted something more from my relationship with Liv. Liv is a lesbian, and what are my intentions? She was very pushy, and I have to say that I had no idea what to do because I knew that the person from whom she had this information was Liv, but I didn't want to believe that she shared such private information about myself with a person that I barely know and without my permission. I have to add that I was very insecure with friends at that time and that I had experienced lots of betrayal from my previous friends and even family, and she knew about all of them, so it was an even bigger shock that she could have done something like this to me. After some thinking, I wrote to her, because I didn't want to see or talk to her that moment, that what she had done to me was disappointing and that I needed some space, and I asked her not to contact me. She started to apologize and even tried to come to my house to explain herself, but I didn't want to see her, so every time I asked my sister to tell her to go home. In one of her messages she told me that she wasn't expecting that her friend would try to be so much involved in our relationship and that she only told her that because she was in love with me. This made everything worse because I had no feelings for her and didn't want to be in a relationship with someone that wanted it to be something more. I told her that if Maya didn't text me and if I found out about all of this from her, maybe our friendship would not be ruined, but now I don't have even a tiny bit of trust in her and that I can't stay in this kind of relationship. I need to add that, because of my experiences, I have huge trust issues, and once someone hurt me I just physically can't trust him again no matter how much I want to. She stopped calling me then, but because we live very close to each other, sometimes take the same bus to school. For nearly a year, she kept talking to me on the bus and I felt very uncomfortable with it, but was too scared and nervous to tell her this. Some time ago she texted me, asked if I was okay and that she missed our relationship, but I didn't respond. She tried to talk to me once more on the bus, but I think she finally realized how uncomfortable it made me. Next time I saw her on the bus she only looked at me and went in a different direction, so I was happy that I didn't have to talk to her. After this time she never spoke to me again, and I finally have space which I needed, but this is the time I realized that maybe she didn't understand why I was mad at her and why I cut her out of my life. I started to think about how I should text her why I did that and tell her that even if I can't trust her again, I want her to know that I want her to be happy and that I am not mad at her. That I cut her out of my life and for wanting to text her again even if she may have forgotten about me.